Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Willow Tree Kitchen.
Willow Tree Kitchen is a one-woman owned and operated bakery currently slinging delicious vegan cookies, mixes, and baked goods out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
Follow Willow Tree Kitchen _ on Instagram or go to their website at willowtreekitchen.com for more.
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcast Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It will be a real scream of a time.
To my daughter go. It's like Creed and the Rolling Stones. Get your notes ready.
We're ready.
Get your notes on.
Woohoo!
On your mark. Get set.
Diarrhea!
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Anyway, welcome back, folks. It's me, it's Jason Michael.
And it's me, Rob.
We're back with another one of our personal favorite spooky, Halloween, haunted, horror, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
favorites of all time.
So our top threes.
Yes.
This is my second choice. It's also my second favorite horror movie of all time.
I feel like our title for this is getting a lot longer just because I still don't know what to call it.
Our top threes.
Yeah, but it's still just the haunted, horror, Halloween, spooky, something or other.
Yeah, it makes you go poop.
Yeah. Makes you go poop in the night.
Yeah.
When you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
Uh-oh. Someone needs Depends.
Uh-oh.
This movie, still to this day, is the only movie that still scares the shit out of me. And I have lost count on how many times I've seen this movie. But today we're going to be talking about 1999's The Blair Witch Project, which is just amazing. But before we jump into the spoiler, let's jump into a little what's been keeping us up at night.
So over the past week, I have been catching up / rewatching The Boys in order to get up to Gen V. I have finally finished season 3, and oh my god, I know I've already seen it, but if I didn't say it before, Anthony Starr is fantastic as an actor. Carl Urban is fantastic as an actor, and Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy is one of the best villain characters, Captain America spinoffs I've ever seen. He's so good.
Yeah, you definitely were saying that last week, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like if they do nothing with Jensen Ackles in season 4, I'm going to be pissed. I know they're bringing in Jeffrey Dean Morgan though, so I'm all for it. I've started Gen V, and I will say it's giving me uber The Boys feels, which is great, and I'm pretty sure it's what it's supposed to be. But at the same point, I don't feel like it's so much of an offshoot. I feel like it's maybe The Boys 3.5. It's the comparison that
I've taken away from it. Not that you've watched either of these shows, but it's if The Boys was Riverdale, Gen V is Sabrina the Teenage, or The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, but...
Oh, I was like, I've seen a little bit of Sabrina.
Yeah, but inversed, because The Boys is way more violent. Like,
yes.
Way more violent.
I mean, there's been some stuff in Gen V, like where she exploded the dude's dick.
That was amazing.
That was great. You fucking deserved it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I've still got, I think, either 2 or 3 episodes left in Gen V. And Invincible, the newest episode just came out, and well, god damn it. We are so screwed. If you haven't seen Invincible, you need to, because this season, I know a little bit about the comics. I want to read them, similar to The Boys. I want to read those comics and the graphic novels. But if I know anything about what's about to happen, it's not going to be good. It's already not good, the setup right now, but it's about to get much, much worse. Other than that, I've been playing the new Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Initially, when I started it, I was incredibly let down. It wasn't good. It seemed like really not good, really not fun. It seemed crap. But diving back into it upon first impressions, it's, especially with friends, it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm so glad that, because honestly, I was like, well, that's a fucking letdown. Because if you know me, I love my zombies. I love my zombie games. I love Call of Duty zombies, minus Vanguard. We don't talk about that one. But the Modern Warfare Zombies is actually really good. There's just a lot of confusing mechanics that hopefully I'll get. But as of right now, it's just basically pick up random scrap pieces of like, ooh, electrical tape. Ooh, a broken screwdriver. And then you go to a buy station. You can sell it for like essence or cash. Yeah, exactly. For those of you that can't see, Rob's face is very confused. And that's, even though I've been playing it for a little bit, I am equally as confused. But I will probably be continuing to grind this throughout the night. I started on the first day that I got the game, which was not day 1 or day 0, as the gamers put it. But I started, obviously, level 1, and now I'm already past level 20, and it's only been a couple hours.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we've been grinding. You're not wrong.
I mean, I'm a nerd too, though, so.
But are you a video game nerd, Rob?
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I've been gaming too recently.
Ooh, it is your turn, sir. Do tell. Spin us a yarn.
So, I haven't been watching a whole lot, just because life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, life is a highway. And there's like a 20-car pile up right now. So, yeah, it's pretty shitty, but...
That's the third verse from Rascal Flatts.
Yeah.
There's a 20-car pile up. Sorry, go on.
As I'm sure most people out there who are listening and who know us would suspect, I have, as of today, so just a couple days before the episode comes out, I watched the 3rd episode of Monarch, the Godzilla universe show that's on Apple TV. And boy, howdy, is this show amazing.
That's what I've heard. God. I just don't have Apple TV.
Good. It is so good. I couldn't be more happy with it. Everything that I thought was going to happen, or the way that they were going to approach the show, is exactly how they're approaching the show. Where, you get your almost like a monster of the week situation, but so far in the first 3 episodes, it was just like, here's a monster, end of episode. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you want so much more, but the best part was getting to see Godzilla in a different way in this 3rd episode. So it's really good. If you have Apple TV, it's an absolute must watch. 3 episodes in so far, and I have 0 complaints. I am absolutely in love with the show. So,
are we getting classic Godzilla monsters?
No. Well,
so far,
Well, so I don't want to. On Spoiler Sleepover, I don't want to spoil this because it is currently running.
Yeah.
But sort of.
Okay.
The monster that is revealed at the end of the 3rd episode, I don't remember from any of the movies, but there are so many, and I know for a fact there's a handful of the Godzilla movies I haven't seen. So, because there's hundreds, there's so many.
I just want to know when we're going to get Jet Jaguar.
It seems a little too modern, to be completely honest. It's got a very, like, Demogorgon feel to it, almost.
Huh.
But if the Demogorgon was a giant,
That'd be fucking horrifying.
And could freeze things with its breath. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I don't want to say anything else about it because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it yet. But
are the Mutos making a return?
I'm not saying anything.
That's a yes.
So, also,
it can all be cut out.
Also on Apple TV, I've been living on Apple TV recently. It's actually paused on my screen as we speak right now. I am watching it's Changeling, not The Changeling. It's called Changeling. I watched the teaser trailer for it, and it seemed interesting, but what sold me was the actor that was in it, Lakeith Stanfield. He's been in a bunch of stuff, including one of my What's Been Keeping Me Up last week. He's in the new Haunted Mansion movie.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, like, my introduction to him was Atlanta, which was an FX show that was fantastic. But he's in another awesome movie called Sorry to Bother You. Really good. But this dude is just he's an amazing actor. And this show is horror sci-fi. Oh man, it's so good. Just the synopsis alone, it's just really simple, kind of simple idea of like couple has baby, mother doesn't think the baby is a baby.
What?
But it gets crazy. It's really good. I'm on the 7th episode right now. It's really good. So if you have Apple TV and you're not watching Monarch, do it. And when you're done watching those 3 episodes, jump over and watch Changeling. It's really good.
And then go back and watch Monarch.
Yeah. Other than that, I am back on Minecraft. That's my gaming.
You nerd. Let's make a world together.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm totally down. I love Minecraft. It's a zen place for me. I just get to go there and do what I want and go find things and build, and I just get to escape reality in a world where there aren't bills.
And murder a sheep for bed.
Yes. Always have to murder a sheep for a bed.
Even when you have shears, beat it to death with your shears.
Other than that, I mean, that's really been about it. It did get some good news. This is kind of a little bit of an offshoot of the Creeping It Real, but not really creeping it. But not really creeping it real. Disney signed a contract with the BBC. So by the time you guys are listening to this, the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who episode has hit Disney Plus.
Yeah, at the beginning of this, you called me a nerd. Back to being a Whovian.
We're both nerds.
You sound like a Dr. Seuss character.
By next Sunday, you guys will get an update on my Whovian love of everything. I am so excited to finally be able to watch Doctor Who episode to episode instead of having to wait over a year for me to watch an entire season. So
the fact that the fans are called Whovians still throws me. I don't know why.
We're Whovians. But yeah, I'm amped. I cannot wait. But that's what's been keeping us up at night. Hit us up and on Instagram or on our website at spoilersleepover.com. Let us know what's been keeping you up at night, because we want to know. We always want to know.
We want to see if the nightmares are connected.
Yeah. Tell us what you think of Monarch. And tell Jason Michael why he needs to spend money on Apple TV.
We'll see about that one.
All right. So, we introduced the actual title last week.
Creeping It Real.
Creeping It Real.
I do have an air horn over here, but that would scare the dog and also blow the shit out of this audio.
Did
you look up an air horn sound effect?
I didn't look up an air horn sound effect. Every single time I have bought a new phone, there is an app I'm going to show it to Jason Michael. This is the app.
It's a red button.
That's all it is.
That's the only thing that's on the screen.
And it is called DJ Horn.
Ah!
I will never not have that on my phone.
So what you're saying is, in the edit of this, I have the air horn sound effect already ready to go on my computer. So what you're saying is, creeping it real.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
So this week, my creeping it real is another bit of audio for you.
Ooh.
So a few weeks back, you heard Jason Michael listen to the tail end of the Toxic Avenger teaser.
I'm so ready. I watched Toxic Avenger after that as one of my movies for, the 31 movies for Halloween or October. It's still such a great movie.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that movie. It's hilarious.
I mean, there is a lot wrong with the movie.
Morally.
But, oh, hell yeah. You shot a fucking dog, man.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
So, a few weeks ago, my brother reached out to me and said, "Hey, did you see that this teaser dropped?" And I said, "Another teaser?" No, I had not.
You say.
When I say teaser, I mean fucking teaser. It is 15 seconds long. Like, it is... It's not a long teaser whatsoever. I also pulled up the wrong one. Here it is. Gotta make sure we've got the right one pulled up. Second trailer teaser for Godzilla -1.
It's great. There's that little... Yo, dude, Godzilla's gonna fuck you up.
So,
He looks mean.
It's a bit of a short, creeping it real, but...
It looks fucking mean.
He looks so fucking badass.
Yep.
I am beyond amped. I love Godzilla. Oh my god, I fucking love Godzilla.
It's almost as spooky as fucking Shin Godzilla.
Yes.
That
my
thing was
god,
haunting.
There is no question. Shin Godzilla is a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
That through and through.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the growth transformation of Godzilla from the start of that movie to what we know as Godzilla.
Yep.
Is amazing. There's that one sequence where it's the four-legged version that's just big bug eyes crawling through the street.
It looks goofy as shit. And
It's
you're like, oh.
horrifying, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrifying. Oh, my
But then
God.
when he grows up and gets like the Predator Halo Elite jaws and goes,
Yeah.
he blows a hole into the fucking Earth's core.
It's insane.
Like, oh my god.
So, I am beyond excited for Godzilla -1.
Yes.
The dog is apparently also excited. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, they can hear it. Trust me, they can.
Fantastic. So, yeah, Godzilla -0. If you
-1.
If you haven't seen the teaser already, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
It's easy to find.
Absolutely.
Just go find it. Make sure you're actually finding the 15 or 16 second teaser. There are other ones out there saying they're the teaser, and it's just a collection of clips from Shin Godzilla.
Yep.
So don't get duped.
We love those ones. And then in the description, which doesn't often show up right off the bat on like mobile version, but it's like, oh, this is a fan-made one. This isn't real. And it's like, you bitch. I was excited.
So I don't know by the time that this is released if there's a full trailer out yet, but if there is, reach out to us, let us know. If it's been released before this episode comes out, you'll see it in the story because you know I'm posting that shit in the story. Speaking of stories, everyone just keep being active, man. It's great to see people reaching out.
There's a lot of people responding. It's great.
It's been great, yeah. I know it's a few weeks out, but I just want to congratulate Sean for being our winner. We announced you during the live stream 3 weeks ago. So, dude,
Congrats, Sean,
dude. Thank you so much for being so active. You're awesome.
Woo!
You're just an amazing human being and one of the best suckers we've got.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Enough of that. Let's jump into 1999's Blair Witch Project.
This is like one of the original found footage movies.
It is the first found footage movie that had an actual belief around it. People really thought this shit was real.
Like the promotions for it helped with that. Like I know they did the promotions for what was it? The War of the Worlds, where people believed that was real.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity totally followed in this thing's footsteps.
Right. Paranormal Activity was a little easier to believe that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But this one I remember very clearly when it was released in '99. I was leaving middle school to become a freshman in high school. So I watched it. Jason Michael's a baby. I'm real fucking old. So I remember watching it on a VHS in a friend's basement.
Terrifying. I was told when I first saw this VHS on a shelf that I was told, oh yeah, that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. That's how I was raised knowing this movie. I hadn't seen it yet, but I was told, yep, that's real.
Yeah, and it was released in the golden age of the internet.
Yep.
The internet was still brand new and fresh. It was dial up, and they had an entire website that had a missing poster on it and everything. So it really fed into the fact that this was real. If you really want to go into what was earlier found footage, I mean Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Had that about it. It was a documentary that then they showed the real footage and so on and so forth. But so Cannibal Holocaust is an episode we're going to be doing later at some point.
Oh, God.
And if we're lucky, we might be able to bring back the fine folks from Dead Body Bathtub to come do this with us.
Probably really the only reason I'll go back to it.
Yeah. Mike and Jermaine are just fucking awesome people. So yeah. Anyway, let's jump into this.
Yes.
So the movie opens just as the Blair Witch Project on the screen with a nice subtitle. It says, in October of 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found. Which,
how did somebody wind up finding themselves at that? I mean, kind of spoilers, but the basement of the house. How did somebody find themselves in the basement of the house and go, that's a bunch of footage on the ground?
Right. That's also my other question is, did they find it in the house? Or did the witch want people to know? Don't
come fucking around my neighborhood, bitch.
Did the witch move it to the road? We never really get an answer. The second movie, there is a second movie. I don't know if it's answered in there. I've watched the second movie once. Literally once, and I don't remember a fucking thing other than the fact that I didn't like it.
When it's movies like this, where all of a sudden, I mean, granted, when it was coming out, you're like, oh my god, it could be real. But years later, when somebody tells you this is real, and then you go, then why is there a sequel?
Right. And
this, Paranormal, all of the Paranormal Activities, even Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Where it's based on true events.
Which is funny, because I remember the first time I'd seen this movie, and every time I've watched it since, the opening
is Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, and I hear the voice.
Me? Oh, no,
I hear the voiceover voice.
1999.
I hear it in my head when I'm reading it to myself.
When we get to talking about Texas Chainsaw, that fucking voice and chainsaw sounds still give me shudders.
Yeah, I love that noise. I like that you hear that sound sampled in songs and other shows and stuff. I saw it in a show. It was in a show recently. Oh, it was in the recent Goosebumps show. There's a sound at one point in time. It's the camera episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking notice that.
I don't want to go too deep into this because I think that you and I should do a breakdown of the Goosebumps series.
Oh no, I have to watch it again. What a shame.
Yeah.
Oh.
This show is fucking fantastic.
It's a great fucking show.
You've already heard us talk about it in What's Been Keeping Us Up at Night, but it is fucking fantastic. If you are sleeping on this, you're missing out. It is not the old 90s show that's made for kids. This is a grown-ass show.
It's mean.
Yeah.
It is mean.
Fucking fantastic. So
Blair Witch.
Yeah. So the movie opens, and we're in Heather's house. We're introduced to Heather immediately, who then proceeds to go outside and say, hey, here's Mr. Punctual. And we meet Josh, who apparently is fucking late by the sarcasm in Heather's voice.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And knowing people that have always worn beanies and had a ponytail that comes out of the back of the beanie, I know for a fact this dude probably reeks of cigarettes.
And weed.
That too, but mostly cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we find out later in the movie, all 3 of them reek of cigarettes.
Oh, my God.
Because all 3 of them fucking smoke.
There's a scene where he's digging through a backpack and goes, Heather!
Yeah.
I found a cigarette! It's like going through withdrawals, man.
As a nicotine addict, I completely feel that feeling. Luckily, it's the only thing I'm fucking addicted to. So
let's go.
Yippee!
That and horror.
Yeah, that and horror. So then this is all real fast. This is the quick opening of the movie. Then they're in a car. They're going to pick up Mike. Mike is not necessarily part of the group. The friend duo of Heather and Josh, but
I like how they're driving into his driveway and backing out, just being like, Mike! Say goodbye to your mom, Mike! Just backing up, going for it, backing up, go.
And he says, he does. He reopens the door as he's closing it and says, bye, Mom! Which is just amazing. So then we are in the downtown area of Burkittsville. Mm-hmm. They talk to somebody in a restaurant.
It's such a dismissive thing. It's like, what do you know about the Blair Witch? My sister went to Blair High School.
Yeah.
And then there was like,
okay, cool. Thanks.
Cool, moving on. Get fucked.
Yep. So now, we jump over to all three of them in the Burkittsville cemetery.
Yep.
Where they are writing their first slate. Josh and Heather both kiss it. Mike decides to bite it. And then we go into the corniest fucking opening ever. And Heather is hamming it up super hard for this shot.
I like how much they celebrated after this. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, first shot done, woo! They go to a hotel room. Yeah, first day shooting done, woo!
Yeah, the hotel happens after their little saunter through the town.
Oh my god, the amount of people.
They interview 4 people in the town about the legend of the Blair Witch. Mm-hmm. 2 of the gentlemen keep saying that it's a guy.
Were they the fishing duo?
Nope, that's later. I love them, though.
Yeah, one of them fucking looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. So the 2 gentlemen, one is the older gentleman shot in black and white, and then the other one in color.
That's the one with the unintentional Utz promotion?
Yes.
With the bags of chips.
So they are saying that there was a guy out in the woods. He came into town, he said he killed 7 kids, blah, blah, blah. The best is the interview with the mom holding the kid, and the kid just keeps saying no and putting his hand over his or her. I don't know if that kid's a boy or a girl. It's the worst mullet I've ever seen in my life.
Either way, the kid was also picking their nose and then
ate it.
And then ate it and then shoves that hand in mom's mouth going, no!
Dude,
kid probably got bullied in school when they found out.
That's parent life, man.
Yep.
Like I've seen my girlfriend's son do some gnarly things. But yeah, I mean, you just get to a point where you're like, germs are germs, whatever, it's fine. So, so we end up getting this legend of this guy who apparently killed 7 kids, and the police went out and found the kids killed. Which means people have gone out to this house. Does it mean it's necessarily the Blair Witch's house? No. But does it mean it's not? No. Like, we're never really given a straight answer on what it is at all.
Yeah.
During the conversations, they are advised to go talk to Mary Brown, who apparently had a first-hand experience and actually witnessed the Blair Witch. So they drive out to this fucking trailer, and we are introduced to Mary, who is the craziest-looking human I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And fits the bill. And she goes into describing what she saw as a little girl laying by the river, and that a woman appeared, but she looked very hairy. Her hands and her arms were super hairy, and that then she, apparently Flasher style, opened her robe, and her entire body was covered in hair.
Yep.
So
this whole interaction with not only the people that are making the documentary, but also all of the extras, like, it's a movie and it's all acting, but at the same point, everyone does it really well to the point where you start to believe, this might actually be real.
Yeah, and that's
like, everyone sells it incredibly well.
Oh, 100%. And that's all due to the way that they went about making this movie happen. Yeah. So all of these people were handed short little pointed bullet points of like, these are things you should say. Mm-hmm. Just ad-lib the rest. So all of these people were just pulled into the movie and been like, hey, you're going to be quote unquote interviewed for this fake documentary. Yeah. And just say these things, make it up. So that's where the he sort of situation must have come from. And they were like, just leave it in because...
the witch probably shows up as different forms to people as well.
It could
Who knows?
It's also, legends are legends. Legends change. People say different things. People would say, like, the Yeti isn't completely covered in hair, or the Bigfoot isn't completely covered in hair, or they're not actually as tall as they say they
There's
are.
There's Bigfoot families.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And different sounds, too.
Yeah.
Legends are legends for reasons. So now we're in the hotel, and they're getting toe up from the flow up. They don't really get into it too much, but you can definitely tell they're getting hammered.
While we are recording this, you just said that, and you probably just watched me just look from down to straight up going, what the fuck did that just mean?
Yeah, toe up from the flow up.
What does that mean?
That's old lingo from the 90s.
I've never heard that.
Buck.
That was just a complete, huh?
Yeah, you get wrecked.
Getting riggedy wrecked.
Yeah, literally.
Toe up from the flow up?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you lie down and just pass out.
Pretty much.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah.
Now you're talking with the sirens and the cherries.
There you go. Oh my God, bring it back. So yeah, they're getting swifty. There you go. There's something your generation can understand.
Totally lit, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, then the party's over. They're all hungover.
Yep.
And we then get the interview with the greatest duo since Abbott and Costello. Hey, bring it back. Last week, what up? We are introduced to these two fishermen who one does not believe shit. Looking at you, Abbott. The other one has all of this and information and has said and heard things.
Saw what I saw when I saw it.
Yeah, Costello, through and through. The two of them are fucking hilarious. The
One
best
looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yep. Oh, he looks like Dahmer through and through. And that's why, man. He's got to play it off. He is the fucking witch.
That or he is Jeffrey Dahmer just going, ah.
Oh, I don't know anything about dead bodies.
What do you like for breakfast?
Speaking of, I have some jerky in my backpack. Would you like some? But yeah, so we're then introduced to the legend of Coffin Rock. Coffin Rock, where police were brought out. They found 7 men, I believe is what they said. It's the number 7 again, bound together, their guts, their intestines splayed out amongst the rock. Oh no, it was hikers found them. They went and got the police. They came back and there was a sign that something had been there, but it had been removed. There was no bodies left at the rock after the fact. So, as they are telling the legend of Coffin Rock, they have started, Heather, Josh, and Mike have started their hike into the woods to go search out the legend of the Blair Witch.
More things that just make this movie feel real is when she slips on her backpack, it kind of like bonks her and she just goes, ow.
Yeah.
I do that all the fucking time because sometimes, like, everything hurts and a backpack hurts. Or it actually does, like, clock me or it bops me and I just go, ow. Even though it doesn't really hurt, but it's still just like, oh, a little funny joke to myself.
Yep.
Again, it feels very real. All the emotions and acting that we're about to experience feel so real.
I'm going to get a little bit
visceral.
I'm going to get a few more scenes into this, and then I'm going to tell you something about this, which is how the movie made the movie feel this real.
Uh-oh.
So it's really fucking cool. It's a little insider thing. I feel like it's not insider anymore. It's 2023. So like information's out there. A quick Google search will tell you all of this information. But so we're now into the first night of camping. It just happens quickly. It's over. We're into the first morning of them out on their hike. We're woken up and Josh says that he heard noises in the night in the woods. None of this was recorded. It was just him saying he heard something. And they're like, it was probably just animals.
Yeah, it was a cackling, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. So they are now hiking. We get to now see that Mike is a little bit unhinged. He doesn't really like being out in nature. I completely relate with you, Mike. Like, I fuck hiking. It's not fun. I don't like being eaten by bugs. I'm 6'5". I have shitty fucking knees. I don't want to do that shit. Like, fuck it. I'm with you, Mike. But Mike is pissed because he is under the impression they're fucking lost.
Yep.
And I don't blame him. Like, he has every right to believe that they're fucking lost.
Like, every single part of the woods that they're in feels like it's been the same place, even though they were just hiking for another day.
Yeah. And Heather is convincing him, like, nope, I know exactly where we're going. I have this all planned out. I literally have it mapped out. She has a map that has everything pointed out to where they need to be going. So he lets it go. They keep moving forward. They cross over this big log over a river, ravine, and they're worried about trying to figure out how to get I forget what it's called, but it's the recording system for the sound. They're trying to figure out how to fuck to get the shit over there.
The expensive equipment.
Yeah, the equipment that was not supposed to be taken in the first place, but was taken anyway. So they cross over. All of these, this sounds really jumpy. This breakdown and spoiler of the movie sounds jumpy, but the movie itself is fucking jumpy.
Yeah, that and a lot of it's just, we're in the woods. We're in the woods.
Correct.
We're in the woods.
Yeah. And you're not given, like, how much time has passed. Which feeds into the realism of this literally being found footage. Hey-o! Because there's never, like, a timestamp or anything. They're legitimately, in 93, when this would have been made, they're shooting on film. Like, they're shooting on cassette tapes, whatever it happens to be. They are shooting on that. There is no digital editing, so you're not able to put a timestamp on certain things. And it's not like they're using your home camcorder, which would have a timestamp on it.
Yeah, this is some big, heavy-duty, like, actual shit.
Correct. They do have the one handheld, but that's whatever.
It takes place over a couple days, at least, like, just shy of a week.
Right. So they come across, hard cut from the log to, they come across these, what looks like a bird's nest in a tree that has a pile of stones in it. Mm-hmm. And Heather remembers somebody saying something about stones being laid out in mounds. They're known as cairns to most people who are in the witchy, whatever, I believe in astronomical science thing world. But they find 7 piles.
Astrology?
Yeah, something like that.
Wiccans, witch, covens.
Yeah, probably Wiccan.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, they find 7 piles.
Now I'm just remembering Scooby-Doo meets the Hex Girls.
Oh my gosh. Future episode.
Dude, what a great movie.
So, there are 7 piles of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
7 boys went missing.
Mm-hmm.
7 people were tied together and had their guts removed. Mm-hmm. Now there are 7 piles of rocks.
Also 7, the most commonly rolled number on dice blocks.
Yes, as a former D&D player. Oh my god. The amount of times I've rolled shit in comparison to the amount of times I've rolled a nat 20. Those are always the best moments when you get to roll a nat 20.
You nerd.
I wish I was that nerdy. I wish I was still playing D&D. But I'm not. Anyway, I believe it's Josh who knocks over one of the piles.
Yes, Josh knocked one over.
Josh knocks over a pile of the stones. Heather's like, I can't believe you just fucking did that. You did not just knock this over. So she handles the stones, the rocks. In my hundreds of watches of this movie, I feel like if she hadn't touched it, I feel like they would have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Josh knocking the pile over that makes things go south. I feel it's more the fact that she interacted with them, put her hands on, and fixed it. Which was like an invitation, like, to like, hey.
Cool, I can fuck with you now.
Correct, yeah. That's kind of how I felt about it, but it is what it is. So now they've set up camp. Cameras are turned on in the middle of the night this time because, all right, we need to listen. Josh heard some shit, so maybe we should film what we're hearing. We're hearing crackling.
Yep.
They say that it sounds like it's coming from all around them. It's twigs breaking and like shuffling of dry leaves, and they're hearing all of this.
It's creepy.
It's super creepy.
It's fucking creepy as shit.
And they get out of the tent. Well, Heather and Mike get out of the tent because they want to see if they can catch anything on camera, which they don't. Mike is too fucking scared to get out of the tent. Granted, dude, samesies. Like, I would not be getting
pitch black, middle of the night, it's freezing, you can't see more than 2 feet in front of you. Also, depending on what time they woke up, I think they said it's like 3.
Yeah.
And
which is the witching hour.
Yeah, and when you wake up in the morning, everybody knows this, no matter how much sleep you get. You wake up and your eyes are like, yeah.
He looks exhausted, annoyed, and fucking scared. All at the same time. But he's not getting the fuck out of that tent. Not that the tent's gonna fucking stop anything. It's cloth.
It's my sea bear protective circle.
Yeah. So, in the morning, we're now cut to the morning. Mike and Josh are convinced that the noises were locals fucking with them.
Yep.
Heather's like, well, how would they know we're out here? It's like, we just walked around fucking town interviewing people.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking knows we're out here.
It's their legend and they want to just like keep it alive or being like, oh, more idiots coming to look into this legend. Cool, let's go show them the legend.
Yeah. Josh makes a good point, too, in that moment, too. He's like, if these are locals that are out here fucking with us, I don't want to cross paths with these people because they're clearly crazy because they're hiking out here in the middle of the night just to fuck with us.
Yep.
There's something wrong with you if you're doing that.
They got nothing better to do in Burkittsville.
Yeah. We now cut to them hiking again because they're fucking hiking.
It's like an episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and
they're walking.
Big surprise. Mike is pissed again because they're fucking lost.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment where you really, as the viewer, are like, no, they're legitimately lost. Like, they're not finding anything. Mike has every reason to be fucking angry, and he fucking screams, too.
Oh, my God.
He is pissed off.
Like, again, such great acting for what is supposed to be a found footage. Like, they really fucking sell it across this entire movie.
So, this is the point I'm going to tell you a little bit of knowledge. Mm-hmm. Before we jump into where shit starts to kind of really start to go south for this movie. For the people, the characters in the movie. These 3 actors actually camped out in those woods. They were not like, all right, cut. Good shoot today, guys.
Everyone
Let's
go home.
Nope. So what happened was they camped out there for real. They, every morning, somebody veiled would show up, hand them food, and hand them directions as to where they were going to go. And again, bullet points as to what they were supposed to talk about.
Now, when you say veiled, do you mean like they didn't know?
You didn't know who they were.
Oh.
But they were given food.
They signed on to fucking make this movie, dude. That's creepy as shit.
Correct. And they were given just directorial points of like, say these things, go to this location.
Fucking hell.
So the directing for this movie was the 3 of them.
Yeah.
There was not a director following them around saying, okay, now hold the camera like this. I want that. Nope. They were just handed these cameras and were like, all right, this is what we need from you.
That's all the direction they got. Everything else was them.
Yep. Do it.
This movie is a fucking trip.
So as the movie goes on, progression-wise, from the first shot where we meet Heather, Mike, and Josh, and you see them and they look like they're fine.
Yep.
To near the ending point where we get to see them on camera and they look fucking unwashed and disgusting and tired.
They look so unwell.
That's because they are unwashed and tired. Like, they are exhausted. They've been doing this for days.
That's when they're saying, fuck this documentary. They're really like, fuck this movie. I want to go home.
There are moments.
Oh my God.
So that is how this movie was made. So that's my little bit of knowledge.
That's horrible.
So now again, they've gone through a night of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They've woken up in the middle of the night to once again hearing not just twigs cracking and dried leaves being kicked around. They're now hearing stones being like smacked together.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear more noise of like movement. And it's
enough to not let you fall asleep and just be unsettled as fuck.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It is not the creepiest moment in the movie yet. We're going to get to that. It's fucking horrifying. Yep. But it's creepy. So the next morning they wake up and there are more cairns. There are more piles of rocks completely surrounding the tent.
Yep.
Mike is pissed. He's like, are you sure we didn't set up camp here? They weren't here when we got here. Heather makes the astute point of like, they are too close together. We would have knocked them over. We would have fucking seen them. Like, they were not here. Like, somebody put these here while we were sleeping last night. Which is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Also, isn't this where their map has vanished now?
So, we get another hard cut. And they are lost.
Yep.
This is the moment, as us as viewers realize they are fucking lost.
Yeah.
Even Heather is unsure. Like, she was like, where's my map? It's the morning. They've seen the stones. She can't find her map. She's searching her pockets. She can't find it. She knows for a fact that she handed it to Josh, so Josh could double check the points of where they were supposed to go.
Yep.
He said, I checked it. Everything was right. I handed you the fucking map. Like, you took the map. She goes, well, it's not in my pocket. She's been keeping the map in the same pocket, apparently, the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Grand. Wonderful. Fantastic. So they wander off, and it's at that point that Mike snaps. And he starts fucking laughing his ass off. And they're like, what is funny? And he says, I kicked that fucking map into the river. It's gone.
This was already after like a couple hours and like half a day of them hiking and walking around, already at just wit's end, going, where's the map? I know I had it. Now we're definitely lost.
Because she knew the direction they were supposed to be hiking in, so they just kept doing it. But he's like, I fucking kicked the map into the creek. It wasn't doing us any good. It wasn't helping us.
They freak out on him so hard.
Heather's scream in that scene is the fucking best.
Yep.
Holy fuck. She has some of the best screams. The ending
Oh my
sequence
God.
is the best. Oh my god. She's so fucking good at what she does.
Yep.
So they, again, another hard cut. They have stopped. They're resting. Josh does one of the fucking funniest things ever where he's laying down and he goes, like, all blame aside, like, this is fucked up. And she's like, yeah, I agree. This is fucked. This situation is fucked up.
We're so screwed.
And he then just, like, rolls into, like, a tree and he goes, you know, you guys just go. When you find somebody, just tell them I'm under this tree with the fucking vine. Like, that shit's hilarious to me. It's a nice moment of levity and, like, calm before
all the shit they're about to experience.
This shit happens.
Oh my God.
We get the hard cut, and then the camera kicks back on to, guys, come look at this. Check this out. Come look. And that's when we get to see, no matter whether you have seen this movie or not,
you know what this is.
know this fucking symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And we are introduced to these stick figure signs hanging.
They are iconic and terrifying.
Yeah, and they are fucking everywhere.
There's so many of them.
And they are different sizes, shapes. I didn't need to take notes for this movie. Again, like, John Carpenter's a thing. Didn't need to take notes, but I did anyways because it's so bullet pointy that I wanted to make sure I was hitting every point properly. Yeah. But I'm going to show Jason Michael. In my notes, I cursed us because...
you son of a bitch!
I drew the symbol.
You goddamn!
So, yeah, if this is the last episode you hear, you know why. The Blair Witch has gotten us.
It's been a trip.
Yep.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, no problem. Don't mention it.
I'm just going to upload the raw audio so that way it's there. You can't say it wasn't there.
So, they are checking all of these fucking things out. It's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, at this point, is the pissed one. And he's like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. Enough with your fucking film. Enough with your movie. Put the fucking camera down. Stop filming. We have to go.
Yeah.
But Heather, at this point, I feel like she's had a break from fucking reality and has started she's still fucking filming this shit.
Yep.
There is a moment, too, where during that break that they're seated, Mike grabs Heather's camera and is, like, filming with it. And he goes, like, oh, I get it. I can understand why you do what you do. Like, when you're looking through the lens, it feels like it's not reality.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like it's not real.
You're safe.
Which really feeds into this moment where she's really fucking focused on this shit because, like, she's not in reality.
She doesn't want to accept the fact that this is their life right now.
Yeah. That moment too, Mike saying that in this moment in the movie, I don't know. Have you played the Blair Witch video game?
No, I have not.
You have to fucking play that. Like, It is so fucking good. It is terrifying.
Love it.
I love it. There are multiple endings to the game too, depending on how you play.
Fuck.
And I've played it 3 times, and I've gotten the same ending twice, and I got a different ending another time.
Oh.
And what shocked me was the time that I got the second ending.
Oh my God, no, I have played a little bit of this. I played a little bit of this on my very first 24-hour stream. And then I got lost and couldn't do anything else. Oh my God.
Did you get lost at the campsite?
I got lost very early on, I think right after the cop car.
Yeah, so you got lost at the campsite.
Yeah.
Like right before the campsite.
Yeah.
That moment, spoiler for your gameplay, because you definitely 100% have to play this game in its entirety.
Uh-oh.
You're supposed to be lost.
Fuck. For how long?
I don't want to spoil anything.
Rob, when I quit this game because I was lost for about 20 minutes.
Here's the best part about being lost during that moment is it's a combination. There are 4 paths. You came from one of them. If you turn around and go back up that path, you don't go back to the cop car. you're immediately lost in the fucking woods the second that you get to that fucking campsite.
You cannot see my face, but I'm incredibly disappointed.
His eyes are legitimately tearing up too right now. I can't tell if it's slight fear or rage, but
it's so upsetting because I was sitting in that campsite for my first like outing as like, hey, past, I'm now another level on Twitch. I can actually get paid now. Let's celebrate with a 24-hour stream. And people are sitting there watching me sit in a pitch black woods going, well, I'm lost. It's been 20 minutes of what the fuck.
Yeah, there's also something hidden in plain view that you have the option to pick up that will then progress the gameplay from that point forward. A lot of the game is searching the grounds and like paying attention to the trees and stuff like that. The game is not spoon-fed to you. But because you haven't gotten into that, I won't spoil anything, but like the break in reality looking through a camera lens plays heavily into the game, which is amazing. So the most terrifying moment in the movie for me is this point. So they set up camp and they decide... I'm still pissed off on the video game. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So this moment, they set up camp. All three of them have the same thought. I feel like this is the first time they've all been thinking the same way. They have the same thought. Like, look, we're not gonna set up a fire. We're not gonna light a fire. Yep. The first night we didn't light a fire, nothing happened. The next 2 nights we did, and that's when we started hearing shit in the woods. So we're not gonna light a fire tonight. Theoretically, logically, makes a lot of sense. Sounds like a great plan.
Till it happens.
Unfortunately,
which don't give a fuck whether you light a fire or not.
Correct. The camera cuts on. You hear children's laughter and children talking in the woods. Mm-hmm. And then we get the moment that still to this day gives me fucking chills. It sounds like it's like right outside. Mm-hmm. It's just this like noise. Yep. It is fucking horrifying. I have goosebumps. I'm wearing long sleeves right now, but I have fucking goosebumps. And then
there's a dog.
All sides of the fucking tent are getting hit by hands.
Yep.
And that's when all three of them just fucking book ass.
Yep.
And run into the woods. And they are fucking horrified. Like, it is the fucking first out of 2 scariest moments in this entire movie. So they are sitting in the middle of the night, in the middle of the woods, not in a tent anymore, unprotected, just chillaxing, scared fucking shitless. Mm-hmm. And Mike says, there's a baby, man. There's a baby. She's a baby. And Heather's like, there's no fucking baby.
Forget about the baby.
There's no fucking baby. Which is... Fuck that shit, man. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck that. Children and baby noises in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night, I'm good without that. So
not about it.
We get the next cut. The sun is up. It is very clearly dusk. Like the sun hasn't fully risen yet. And they have returned to the campsite to find the tent fucking destroyed. Mm-hmm. All of Josh's shit has been opened up.
Why is it my shit? Why is it only my shit?
Yo. And he then goes, what is this? Slime. Hey, slime season. I finally did it. I brought some slime into the season with a movie. And there's shit just like on his stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he's been clearly handpicked and marked.
Yep.
They decide they need to get fucked. They need to fuck off and get as far away from this shit as possible. So they pack up with what they can and take off into the woods. Mm-hmm. We get another hard cut, of course. They ask, I believe it was Mike, asks for a cigarette.
We're all out.
We're all out.
Not our cigarettes, no!
All three of them are smokers. There's no fucking cigarettes to be found. So they're not just lost in the woods. They're having a nick fit right now. Mm-hmm. They need their fucking nicotine. I feel you. Then it's at this point that more hard cuts of just them wandering. kind of monotonous conversations, but they return to the large log that they crossed over. And they realize that they've made a intensely big circle.
Yep.
They are fucking lost. Time and space is meaningless.
Like, Heather doesn't believe, she can't even focus on, like, it is totally the same log. They're like going, this is the same fucking log. She's like, it's not. And you can hear the progressive breakdown of, oh my god, it's the fucking same log.
Yep. And I think it's also the realization that she did this.
Yep.
She brought them out there.
Yep.
She fucked them up.
Which when we get to one of the more infamous shots in this movie, she admits that. She's like, this is my fault.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So then we get another hard cut. They are back in the tent. It's night again. And now they're having kind of like a peacefully chill conversation about who wants a cheeseburger, because I got a cheeseburger in my back pocket right now. And then Josh talks about how he wants his mom's mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. There's a nice, good old fucking food conversation to another hard cut, and it's morning. And lo and behold, Josh is missing.
Josh is just completely gone. All of his stuff is still there, but he is gone.
Yep. So they run out, and they're screaming for Josh. They're trying to find him, running through the woods, yelling his name.
Josh!
Not finding him. Clearly, he's gone.
Yeah.
Hard cut. Next night.
This is fucking hard to watch.
We hear Josh yelling.
Screaming for help in the middle of the night.
And so they are yelling out to him to try and asking him, like, where are you? Like, Josh, where are you? Mm-hmm. And he's not responding. And then the screams just stop. So that's in the middle of the night. That happens. They can't find him.
Yep.
Hard cut. Morning. They open the tent. And there is a bundle of sticks tied together.
In his flannel.
Yep.
Or a piece of his flannel.
Yeah, a piece of his flannel. And some white twine. And she I'm just going to move it. I'm just going to move this. Move this away. And
don't kill me later.
Yeah, she just tosses it into a little pile of brush. And they walk away. And that's when we find out that Mike found cigarettes in the bottom of his bag. So they sit down. They have a smoke together. Kind of like try to regain their thoughts and sanity a little bit. And Heather then goes, I've got to find out what's in this thing. Huge mistake. Mm-hmm. So she goes over and unties this bundle of sticks to find a little pouch made from Josh's flannel.
Yep.
And opens it. We don't initially see what's in it. And she drops it and screams, it's blood. There's blood.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's horrified. And
I
then
still don't know what it is. But
nobody does.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were going to say something. I would be like, okay.
Nobody has any fucking clue.
It just looks like a red square.
Yeah, so she puts the camera on it so we can see, and it's like blood.
It's also like in the far side corner of the screen, so it's like not in focus. It's just like off to the side. You're like, what the fuck? Heather, look at the goddamn thing, please.
Which is perfect because she's scared and tired.
Suspension of disbelief, too.
Her character is scared. She is, the actress is physically fucking exhausted at this point. So, like, it just works so well. But it's...
Heather, we're going to need you to take that shot again. Fuck you! You get what you get.
Yeah, you get what you get and you don't get upset.
And you suck my ass.
Hole.
Not asshole, but my ass as a whole.
Yeah, all 4 of the cheeks. 4 cheeks?
We're keeping that all in.
All right. So, it's this red, it's blood, and then there's this white thing in the middle. Could be a piece of meat, a flesh, skin. It could be a tooth. I always, for the longest time, thought it was a tooth. Somebody else pointed out at one point in time, it looks like the top of his ear. It all depends on how you look at it, what your mindset is at the time. It could be fucking anything.
True.
But it's a piece of Josh.
Yes.
And we just don't know what it is. We then have a nice cut of them wandering aimlessly through the woods. Another nice, amazing shot of Josh just leaned back on his backpack.
Mike.
Except Mike, sorry.
Josh is back, yay!
Hey, he's back, he's fine. His ear's missing and his tooth's missing.
Hey, look, there's the out of the woods.
Yeah, right? I found the spot.
Over.
I found the spot, guys.
There's a whole box of cigarettes over here.
I got cheeseburgers and mashed potatoes.
My God.
It's a happy
Look,
ending.
our map! I feel like we're losing it just as much as they were.
Seriously. Look at this amazing shot of Mike just leaned back with the world's largest leaf, and he just takes a bite out of it. It's still one of my favorite moments in this movie because it's just so fucking ridiculous. And Heather even says, like, "You're not eating that leaf, are you?" Like, yeah, he's fucking eating a leaf. You guys haven't eaten shit in days at this point. But yeah, so then we are introduced to the iconic moment and shot that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm. It's on the cover.
Yeah, everybody knows this.
Yeah.
And if you've never even watched the movie, you fucking know this. And it's
been parodied. It's been like art styled into something else before.
Yep.
Oh,
it's been used in other movies. One of the Paranormal Activity movies, it happens.
Yeah.
But it's Heather's holding the camera at a low angle. All you see is her nose and her eyes.
Yep.
The top of her head. And she is apologizing. She's just, if I don't make it out of here, this is me making my video diary of a lost girl in the woods.
I'm sorry I did all of this. They're dead because of me. This is all my fault.
Mm-hmm. Amazing shot of boogers running out of her nose. The world's largest tear roll. That tear is fucking ginormous.
Yep.
But then we get another nice hard cut. And they're in the tent again. And we hear Josh screaming again in the woods. This time he sounds closer.
Yep.
And he's genuinely screaming for help. You guys, help. Like he's closer. Oh, buddy. So they grab their cameras and they book it into the woods, following the screams. And we are then introduced to the house.
The house.
This decrepit, broken down, no windowed house.
All of this movie and rewatching it and just like thinking about the house now is reminding me of Deadstream, and it makes me want to watch that movie again.
Such a good movie.
It's such a good movie.
Well, maybe in our future,
revisit Deadstream.
We can revisit Deadstream on our future potential Patreon. We could do like a watch along or something. That would be really cool to do a watch along.
Yep.
Anyway, so we are introduced to the house. And I say introduced to the house because the house in itself is its own character.
Yep.
If you watch it for the first time, you're going to see it as a creepy house, and that's the buck stops there, I feel. Most first-time viewers are just going to see it as a house. It isn't until you've rewatched the movie as many times as I have that you realize the house is its own character.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. It has its own thing going on. They go in. Mike goes into the house first. Fucking Heather, being the film nut that she is, wants to film fucking everything. Just stay together, god damn it.
Like Zoinks, gang.
Yeah.
Let's split up.
This scene, from the moment they start running into the woods to the moment they get to the house, the audio is the fucking best shit ever. Mike's camera is the only camera that has audio.
Yep.
Heather's camera does not have audio. It is just film. So anytime we're hearing audio, it is the audio coming from Mike's camera. Mm-hmm. So Heather's outside screaming for Mike, but she sounds like she's at a distance, but we're viewing everything through Mike's camera. So he's like, I'm in the house! Like, get the fuck in here, basically. So she goes into the house. They then hear Josh scream again. Mm-hmm. And Mike's like, it's upstairs. He's upstairs. So he books ass upstairs.
Everybody's screaming at this point.
And from two different camera points, we get to see the walls that have children's handprints all over the fucking walls leading up the stairs. Horrifying. Absolutely fucking horrifying. Rewind to the beginning when they're talking to the older gentleman in the town. He talks about part of the legend was that they would take the kids down to the cellar.
Yep.
And they would put one in the corner, facing the corner, and kill the other one, while the other one was standing in the corner. So the person standing in the corner could only hear what was happening, not see it, knowing they're fucking next. So they go upstairs. They see nothing. Josh is not there. But then they hear Josh yelling again. Mm-hmm. Mike takes off again. Goes downstairs. He's downstairs. He's downstairs. And takes off without Heather. Heather's left once again behind because she's too fucking slow. And lagging because she wants to film the fucking floor, apparently, because that's what all the kids want to watch is floor.
But it's such an iconic moment that is about to happen.
So we see from Mike's point of view, him run downstairs. We can hear Heather screaming Mike's name.
Yep.
From a distance.
At such a volume and an octave. Like, we were talking about the octave that we can't scream at anymore for last week's episode. Mm-hmm. Damn, the set of pipes on this girl and the fact of, like, probably her voice might have been fried for a couple days after this.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there is no holding back in her screams for Mike, for Josh, or when she gets down to the cellar.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts to kind of watch because there's very obviously pain in her voice.
Oh, yeah. She sounds genuinely terrified. It doesn't sound like acting.
Yeah.
So, Mike runs into the basement. We hear Heather screaming in the background. As he gets down to the basement, we see, like, a stone wall and dirt floor, and the camera just drops. Mike has been screaming Josh's name, and he just stops. Camera hits the ground. That's it.
What happened?
Then we are cut back to Heather's camera with the sound added from Mike's camera, which is amazing. So we get this black and white shot of her now descending into the basement. And you can hear her voice getting closer and closer to the camera. As she turns around the corner, we see Mike standing in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And she screams one last time, and her camera hits the ground. Film flutter. The end.
Credits. This fucking movie, dude. So a couple talking points here. One, have you ever heard of a YouTube channel called How It Should Have Ended?
I've heard of it. I've not watched anything.
Yep. So it's animated, and it's cartoon, it's comedy. I love this. I've been following them for over 10 years now. But they did it's one of their first videos was how the Blair Witch should have ended. And I rewatched it and I was like, oh my God, it's still really fucking funny. They walk in, they see Mike in the corner, scream, they drop the camera, and then you hear it from off screen, cut! Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe you just dropped the camera. Oh my God, it's so expensive. This was supposed to be the big payoff of the movie. It's like, well, I'm sorry. It's like, this is what was going to happen. Come downstairs, see Mike, turns and it's just a witch saying Blair Witch rules on it. And it's a scary witch. Rah! Payoff of the movie. God. That, and it's like, I haven't seen this movie in over 10 years. And I think I needed to see it more as an adult to fully appreciate this movie. Because originally when you said Blair Witch, I was like, oh, okay, Blair Witch. I didn't know what my rating was going to be, but it wasn't going to be that high. Yeah. Upon rewatching, this movie is acted very well. It's unsettling as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a great horror movie in general.
So, this is, I'm going to tell you exactly why. This is the only movie that I have rewatched more times than I can remember that still fucking scares me. You see nothing.
Right?
You don't see anything.
It's the suspension of disbelief.
It's all up to your imagination. It's up to your imagination what the noises are in the woods. It's up to your imagination what was hitting the tent. It's up to your imagination what happens after both cameras are dropped.
It's kind of Lovecraftian in a way.
100%. That is in itself. Like, if your imagination isn't great, maybe this movie's not for you. Maybe this isn't it. Maybe this won't scare you. But if you have a wild imagination, or if you've seen some super fucked up horror films or just a lot of horror movies, your brain can paint a picture for you of what could potentially be out there. It's amazing. I love it. And it's the main reason why I hate the sequel. So this is the Blair Witch Project. There was a sequel that came out a handful of years ago, a few years ago, called The Blair Witch.
Yep.
No project, just The Blair Witch. It's fucking terrible. Arguably, it is not a good movie. And they show you the witch.
Really?
They show you the witch. It is stupid. It was not necessary. It bothers me through and through that they show the witch. And it is exactly what you would expect from a movie that is going to try and show you the witch.
All right, hang on. I'm going to look up Blair Witch 2 Witch. I'm going to get my live reaction to what this fucking stupid thing looks like.
Blair Witch. Because that's the name of the movie. It's 2000...
Book of Shadows?
Nope, that's the actual second movie.
Blair Witch 2016?
That'd be it, 2016.
What the fuck is that? That doesn't even look scary.
Nope.
It just looks like tall and gangly.
Exactly.
That's... You heard it here first, folks. Live disappointment.
Yeah. I have rewatched the movie 3 times.
That came out in 2016. Holy shit.
It is not good. I've heard people say that they love it. Great, whatever. If you love it, you love it. You know my standpoint on specific horror movies. The Conjuring universe movies are fucking garbage. They're shit. They're not worth the time it took to fucking shoot them, in my opinion. I feel equally the same about Blair Witch as I do about the Conjuring universe movies.
Jesus. But, I mean, for at least this one, it's good.
The Blair Witch Project is... If John Carpenter had never made The Thing, The Blair Witch Project would be my favorite film of all time. But because of John Carpenter just being the best that there is, Blair Witch Project drops to number 2, which is still pretty fucking great in comparison.
So let me pose this to you: how many out of 10? No breaking the rating system here.
Don't tell me what to do.
Out of 10, how many close up, straight up the boogery nose, giant tear face camera angles would you give this out of 10?
10.
All right.
1,000. Eat a dick.
Suck it, anus.
Yeah, but no, seriously, it's a solid 10. I mean, our top 3s in general are going to, for the most part, be solid 10s across the board.
Yep.
I feel like we're going to hit certain areas where it's going to be like a 9, because we're doing like, especially with the Universal Monster side of things.
Like when we get there, like I know which one of my Universal Monsters is the least favorite, but it's not like I hate this or I don't like it at all. It's just like I find the other ones more appealing and more interesting.
Right. Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But so how about you? Where did this land for you?
Originally, again, like having not seen it in over 10 years, I originally probably was thinking I would have given it like a 4.
Okay.
But I feel like rewatching it, feeling the actual emotion that people were giving off and the acting in a found footage with air quotes around it.
Right.
I would say it's probably like an 8 to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
It gained 4 points.
Yeah. It's definitely, I have a newfound appreciation for this one, and I feel perfectly fine with not ever seeing any of the sequels.
Yeah, they're not, I mean, Book of Shadows, it's not.
For those of you that didn't see it, there was justifying about to happen, and then Rob sighed and his eyes rolled so fucking fast to just be like, why am I defending this?
It's, in comparison to Blair Witch, it's actually not a terrible movie.
Okay.
Go into it without expecting a found footage film.
Okay.
You'll walk away pleased.
Okay.
That's the only way I can describe it. Don't expect the Blair Witch Project. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
As a film, a horror movie that takes place within the legend, it's good.
Okay.
Just good.
Okay.
But, again, I've watched it once, and I was not in love with it in any way, shape, or form, but I didn't walk away like, fuck this movie, like I did with the 2016 Blair Witch movie.
Okay.
Yet I've watched the 2016 Blair Witch 2 more times because I was like, maybe I was being too harsh because they showed the witch. Maybe there was something I missed.
Then you went back again and went, fuck this movie.
Correct. And then I don't remember whom I watched it with, but the third time I watched it with somebody who had not seen it to make a point that it was a piece of shit. And, I was proven correct. It's a piece of shit.
The first one is because I haven't seen it. The second one was maybe it wasn't that bad. Third one is to prove a fucking point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. That's 1999's The Blair Witch Project. My number 2 of my top 3s.
That was a calamity. That fucking movie is like, it's so unsettling. You start to even lose it too. Like you have no idea where it is.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a point to this. So I'll add it into my thank yous at the end. But so I watched this at my girlfriend's house very early in the morning because it was the only time that I had to do that. But I had to pause after the tent scene where the hands are hitting the sides. Because I have to remind myself to breathe during certain movies because, like, I'm so tense.
It's unsettling.
Yeah. So I literally paused it. I walked out of the room and I was just like, I need happiness right now. And thank goodness my girlfriend's son was, like, just being a goofball. So I got to go, like, tickle him and, like, we were making noises at each other and it just calmed me down. I was like, all right, this is great.
Then you walked back in and went, fuck!
Like, back to the terror. But it was, yeah, so thank you. I'll thank them both when we get to the thank yous, which I think we're actually there.
Yeah, I think we are.
So who do you want to thank this week?
As always, a big, massive thank you to you, Rob, for once again helping me to see new movies that I haven't seen, but also to revisit old movies that I didn't think I would enjoy and then re-enjoy.
Hell
like
yeah.
This movie has a new life for me because I didn't really care for it. It was like, oh, okay, I know it's not real, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Young, stupid Jason. Older Jason that has more of an appreciation for things goes, oh, this movie has some merit behind it. It has some actual fear. It's great.
Yeah,
definitely want to thank, it's an inadvertent thanks, but at the time that we're recording this, my roommates are out of the house away on a flight, and I've been catching up on old horror movies and watching horror movies like this, where it's like the feeling of desolation, the feeling of isolation, not desolation, being by yourself.
Right.
So rewatching The Thing, rewatching Blair Witch. I watched Halloween 2 the other night. That movie feels isolated as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm just sitting in the house going,
I'm all alone.
that door's locked, right? Like, I thought about it last year when I moved up to New Hampshire. I was the only one in the house for the month of October. And it's kind of a similar situation. I really want to rewatch The Strangers, but I don't want my imagination to go when I am the only person in a house in the woods in New Hampshire.
Dude, speaking of, they just dropped the movie poster for the prequel.
Oh, that's fucking right. They're doing that. Yeah. We'll add that on. We'll add that on to the next episode. We'll talk about that. But yeah, as always, thank you to my wonderful better half off in England, again, being patient with me and supporting the stupid adventures that we go on. So stupid in a good way, not stupid as in they're dumb, but like stupid as in, why would anybody do this? Because we want to.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We got shit to say, and nobody else will listen, so put it to you. Use your ear parts and listen.
Yeah. Rob?
Me! So yeah, I want to thank you again. I will mention it like I did the last episode. Like, thank you so much for doing all this editing. Everything has come out so well. It sounds great. It's awesome for me because we do this. We have these conversations. By the time that I leave the studio, everything's a fucking blur.
Yep. Yep.
So
I will say, even though I edit it and have to listen to our whole conversation, and when I listen to it, like, say on the way to work after it comes out, I'll still be like, oh yeah, that part. I know where that cut is. But then I still go, oh my God, we talked about this, or oh my God, we fucking just couldn't stop talking about this.
Yeah. So
it's great.
I've been enjoying listening to it. I actually, at work, at work recently, I was listening to the episode. I was listening to an episode of us, and one of my coworkers came into the prep area. I work isolated.
Yeah.
Speaking of isolation.
Oh God.
I'm a prep chef.
Josh?
I'm in the morning before anybody else, hours before anybody else shows up. So I'm just alone. And the prep area is in the basement of this restaurant. It's awesome. I love it down there.
Josh?
But one of my coworkers had come in, and he was like, it sounds like you. And I was like, that's because it is me.
Ah, you listen to yourself, eh?
And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, it's my podcast. And he was just like, you listen to your own podcast? And I was just like, yeah, I don't do the editing process, so I like to hear what the product at the end is. Like, it's
like bands that wear their own shirts on stage.
Yeah, seriously. But I just loved the look of sheer confusion on his face. He was just like, what the fuck kind of goddamn God complex do you have?
Listen, you make your own fucking podcast, then you come talk to us. That's right. I'm speaking to you in the future.
Yeah.
You
So yeah, thank you. And I need to thank my wonderful girlfriend and her awesome son for pulling me out of that like I'm scared out of my fucking mind state, and I was just like needed to, because I was like internally shaking, you know, that internal shake you get?
Yeah.
That's where I was at, and I just having them there just calmed me so much, and I was like, oh, so thank you, Nicole. You both are just you're my world, and you really helped me out through that.
Hell yeah.
And again, as always, Anna,
Willow Tree Kitchen.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Y'all need to go over and start ordering this shit. Like,
Yes.
if you haven't already, go support. It's just Anna. Like, this isn't. She's got the name Willow Tree Kitchen. You hear kitchen, you think a staff.
Yep.
It's Anna, man. Like, she's rocking this company solo.
Kicking ass and taking names,
And
dude.
she is killing it. Some of the best vegan cookies. This isn't me just because she's a sponsor. This isn't me, like, saying this. They are the best vegan cookies I've fucking ever had.
I'm pretty sure they're the only vegan cookies I've ever had.
They're so fucking good. Everything else she makes is fantastic. We can't wait for you guys to see more of what she makes and the future project we have coming up. So,
And you'll hear it in the top of the episode and the back of the episode. Willow Tree Kitchen _ on Instagram. Please go follow her. Show her love. Tell her that Spoiler Sleepover loves her.
Yep.
And
say, hey, I'm a sucker. We listen to Spoiler Sleepover.
hell yeah.
We're here for some delicious goods. And don't let the fact that they're vegan deter you. They are cookies. Like,
Yes.
They don't taste like earthy shit. They are.
It's not, what is it, matcha?
Yeah, no, it's nothing. It's nothing like, oh, this is a crunchy bullshit. No, they are.
Made with the freshest dirt from the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yeah, they are sweet. They'll hurt your fucking teeth if you have cavities. They are delicious.
Uh-oh.
So, that being said, until next week,
I've been Jason Michael.
I've been Rob.
Sleep tight, suckers. Josh?
Thank you for listening to this episode of Spoiler Sleepover. But the fun doesn't stop here. Go follow us on Instagram at Spoiler Sleepover and check out our website www.spoilersleepover.com. It'll be fantastic of you. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers.
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Willow Tree Kitchen.
Willow Tree Kitchen is a one-woman owned and operated bakery currently slinging delicious vegan cookies, mixes, and baked goods out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
Follow Willow Tree Kitchen _ on Instagram or go to their website at willowtreekitchen.com for more.